Hi, it's Jnwynn with Scraptastic Yarns Podcast. Today I'm up in the sewing room. I've been cutting some bags that I need to get done, and also cutting some breast prostheses out, which those are done with knit like t-shirt material, and then you use those evil little air beads, micro beads that are really like styrofoam balls, beads, but they're very, very tiny, and those are the ones that stick to everybody and everything. So I apologize for the mess. Today is Monday, July the 16th. I get lost on the days, when we're doing therapy and everything, but everything with therapy is going well. The exercises are working, so it's really helping out a lot. I only have a couple of finished items. One of those is a pair of men's mittens done in gray. I do need to wash these and kind of set them aside and block them. Sorry about the nose itch. Allergies. And I apologize for the air conditioner sound. There's not a whole lot I can do about that. That's what keeps the apartment cool, is using air conditioner in my sewing room as well as the bedroom and downstairs. Yeah, we use enormous amounts of energy, but then during the winter we're using probably about the same amount for the heat because it's all electric. So what are you gonna do? The only other thing I have finished is I have a breast prosthesis. This is a very large size for someone, and I had a request to get that done, so I've got it finished. Now I just need to pack it up so that I can get it to the recipient, or actually so the person that requested it can get it to the recipient. I did finish my It Takes Two Tango shawl, and this is it. I used a evergreen mainstays color and the purple color. And Saturday when we were getting groceries, I knew I needed to get another purple, another evergreen, so I could finish this while we were in State College, and I forgot to get it. So I go out to my Walmart and nothing. They don't have either one. Out of it. And all of the mainstays there were marked down to $1.50. And so I'm like, well, I got to go back up to State College. So yesterday afternoon, I drove all the way back up to State College so I could get my yarn. And of course, while I was there, I noticed they had the Aran color marked down, and I kind of like that for some of the comfort dolls that I've made, and also some of the just dolls amigurumi that I've made. So I did get that. Last week, there's a campground in Lamar, Pennsylvania. It's associated with, I think, Liberty Baptist is what it is. I'm not real sure. Got to reposition. That muscle's starting to hurt. So anyway, they had decided for Bible study in the afternoon that what they were going to do is cut up the grocery bags to make mats for the homeless. So we spent a couple afternoons cutting the grocery bags into little strips and then joining them together. And I have started a mat, and I'm working on finishing that. Down below I'm going to leave the link to Greensboro Recycling. It was with the news channel there in Greensboro, North Carolina, and the video shows you how to cut the strips, shows you how to join them, shows you how to make the mat completely if you so choose to do so or want a group to get together to do that. With this mat, I've been cutting my strips just short or close to 2 inches. And then I'm using a 12 millimeter hook, which is in between the Clover PQ, and I believe it's QR. Hooks are 15 millimeters, and that is what they suggest if you're cutting strips about 3 inches wide. 3 inches wide does make a very nice mat, but of course you have to use more bags. And it takes anywhere from 500 to 700 bags to make a mat. So you can imagine we're raiding everybody's pantry and hitting up the Walmarts and all the places that have, the little bag boxes that you can put your bags in. So we're hitting them up for all their bags. I know this isn't going to be a project that goes quick, because normally someone I know that does this, someone I know online, friend that does this, says it takes her about a month to make those. But like I said, I'm using a 12 millimeter hook. You can use an N for, about 2 inches, 1.5 inch. You can also use a K hook. It just means you're going to be crocheting, more chains, and it's going to be a smaller stitch. That's all it is. You're basically wanting to get them about 40 inches by 6 feet, and then you add on a handle, and then you also crochet straps that can be tied. This keeps the homeless from getting wet when they place it on the ground to lay on it. The other thing is they can use it as a blanket. They're extremely warm. So it's a good project, so I'm going with it. I'm having fun doing it. Sit down a couple hours and do it, during the day. The bags that I have been making, and these are a couple of finished projects, are basically to hold either sock balls, and they're squared, and they're different sizes, or they can hold cakes of yarn. Like this one here is a large ball sack, and it will hold 2 good size cakes of yarn. I do make those in different sizes. This just happens to be the fabric I was working on to get rid of. I also make them with the snap, but also a yarn guide for those who choose to use it as a yarn guide. Or you can actually hook this to your purse or your bag so it doesn't get away. And as you can see, this holds a mandala cake. This is a cake that one of my girlfriends tried the mandala. She can't stand it, so she gave me the ball after we had yarn barf. So I haven't started working with it yet. That's one of the next projects I'm working on. That is it as far as items that I have made that are finished. I'm still working on my hengetsu. I have probably another 6-7 rows on it to go, and it'll be finished. And that's it for items that I've made. Works in progress. I have another breast prosthesis on the needles, so I need to get a couple more of those done. Typically I like to have 2 or 3 of each size backed up, so that when I go to give to someone 1 or 2, I still have another one backed up. I can keep them, so I don't constantly have to make it as I go. Only this time I had a lot of the larger size run, so I've got to make a couple to get those back up in stock. I think that's it for all of that. I have been watching, when you've done therapy and you're done and you gotta sit and lean against that nice heating pad to calm that nerve down a little bit, you do a lot of sitting. Although I've been doing a lot of walking, sitting, stretching, doing the exercises in between. Because I'd like to get this done and over with. I want that nerve stretched so it stops acting like a fool and keeping me awake at night. I have a couple of new podcasts that I've found. One is Bear's Crochet Critters. I'll provide the links below. She does a lot of amigurumi, and she does quite a few neat amigurumi. The other one, and she was pretty nervous about her first podcast, but she did a wonderful job with that first podcast. And I don't know, when you first start out, it is nerve-wracking, and even now, got a couple under my belt, still kind of nerve-wracking. Worried if you got enough to talk about. For me, I worry about if my voice will carry well enough. So, that's a big concern. One of the other ones is soulcrochet.co. She uses the blanket yard to make amigurumi. Right now she is working on a snowy owl, and I would have never dreamed to use blanket yarn for amigurumi. It makes them really nice, big size, and they're absolutely stunning. So go give her a check out. The other one is Setta's Place, and Setta is in Virginia, and I love the way that she does her format. She does little mysteries where she holds up an item and you have to guess what she's making. That's a lot of fun. She does sit down and talk about some of the things she's made in the past, what she's working on, and I just love her. I sit here and I think where she was at when I was doing home health in Virginia. I probably could have stopped by and had a cup of tea with her, and we could have crocheted for about 30 minutes before I had to get on to the next patient. So, and one of the other ones is Ruthies Crafty Corner. She has quite a few items up that she's been working on. She is a little soft to hear at times, but turn her up, listen, she's got some great items for you to share with you. Maria's Quilts, Crafts, and Crochet. Maria does a lot of live videos, and I like that about her. I've told you why I don't do live podcast right now, and a lot of that is because my husband's home, and he's over there going, what? And it's like, nothing, I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to them. He doesn't get it yet, so I'll wait till school starts before I try to do any live podcasting. She also has a new little kitten who's just adorable. Got a couple of cats. Hubby has been in some of the video. Today's video, she shared her yarn stash. Of course, Kitty was laying on some of her finished items in the tub, so we'll have to see those on another time. And I believe I talked about this fellow last time because I had used one of the Tunisian, for the reverse Tunisian crochet stitch, simple stitch, and that's David Burchall. He has a very nice soothing voice, and he's just very easy to watch. I'm hoping he does a lot more filming, just because I'm kind of interested in some of the things that he's been sharing on the Hooked on Tunisian Crochet group on Facebook. He's had some shawls, some blankets, beautiful items. So I look forward, I'm hoping that he'll be doing a lot more things in the future. One of the other newer crafters I've found is Moonfire Crafted, and this is Dolly. I will tell you, Dolly does a lot of what she calls 420 items. For those of you who don't know what 420 is, that is the day that a lot of people go out into public and smoke marijuana, toke, smoke, eat, I don't know, whatever they do at 420. But she does a lot of items, and they're absolutely adorable. She has a couple of marijuana leaves that she's done, small, medium, large, and they'll hold a blunt or a lighter, whatever you have. She's got some little, what she calls her gigs, and she's nicknamed it that after Giggles, because they make her giggle. And they're very cute little amigurumi that she has made. And of course it has a little area on the top that you can put things down in, crochet hook, some marijuana, and some lighters or whatever, incense, I guess you could store it down there or whatever. But she has a lot of cute, beautiful items. I'd give her a check out, unless you're just really against medical marijuana and those that do use it recreational in the areas where it is recreational approved. I really don't have a problem with it, other than if you've really been smoking, toking a lot, I don't want to be around you because, quite frankly, you reek. That's my biggest complaint when I'm around someone like that. Other than that, I say carry on, do whatever makes you happy. That's all we can do, right? And for a lot of these people, helps with pain, helps with a lot of things. I have quite a few friends who have fibromyalgia, who swear by it. I do not use marijuana, although I am very open to using CBD products. My son gave me some for my hands with the arthritis at Christmas. Fantastic. It really helps with a lot of the pain and the aching. So yeah, it's a thumbs up for me. And also CBD oil comes in some oils that you can actually drop under your tongue to help with pain release. I had a lot of friends who sent me something called Kratom, and that is a tea that has been used in the past. But the FDA, in their infinite wisdom, has now classified it as a narcotic. It did help with pain, and of course it was depending on what type of kratom you used, whether you used the red, the green, or the mixture or whatever. But Big Pharma has us by the you-know-whats. I do know that because of being diabetic and some of the insulins that I'm on and medications, and I'm glad that I have insurance because there's no way I could pay for that. No way. It's ridiculous that so many of them cost so much money, especially nowadays that they're using a lot of those are reproduced by RNA splitting and grown in dishes and in vats, so it's not like we're having to kill animals like we used to and take it out of their pancreas. So those of you that don't know, in the past people have used horse, pig, cow, lamb. There's another animal and I can't remember what it was that they used to use. My mother used pork insulin. She was type 1 diabetic. So, they're not having to take it from animals or anything else anymore. It's mass produced. Shouldn't cost what it cost. But of course they always get to charge for R&D. Research and development. Which I have a problem with because, we have medications out there like Synthroid that have been out there forever. How much R&D can you do on that? I think there comes a limit after so many years. You shouldn't be allowed to charge, 300% markup for R&D. I just believe that's not fair to the public. So that's it with that. I am going to put in some pictures of prayer shawl. Someone had asked kind of an idea of how many things that we turn in. So I took a couple pictures of the pile. And this was with a lot of people who weren't there because of 4th of July. We moved our prayer shawl to last Wednesday, so it kind of messed things up a little bit. A lot of people weren't there, but we still had a good turnout and quite a bit of pile of items for prayer shawl. Not all of the items will go for the knit and run. These items are also given out throughout the year when someone needs something. We hand them out, and somehow we try to keep a tally of those. We have a gal that's keeping a tally, and I'm afraid she's going to be nuts by the end of the year. Because, we don't always have someone that when they go in to take an item, report to her to let her know that they took this item out of there to give to someone. So she's got a chore on her hands trying to keep those items straight, trying to keep the tally going. But she gives us a report every month. So, kudos to her for keeping at it. The only other thing I want to say, too, is to remind you to choose to be kind. I had a friend that made a post about something about our leaders being role models. Well, I'm going to say this. Our leaders are not our role models. Because quite honestly, we have so many people that don't like any of the leaders. And there is total hate for all of them, regardless what side of the fence they're on. Our leaders have been pretty nasty in their comments to each other, about each other, and to everyday common people. So, let's not be like our leaders. I have a saying, and I've not used it in many years, but I'm going to start using it. I am responsible for my own words and my own actions. My leader, my president, my vice president, my congressmen, they do not speak for me. They do not convey the proper message to the people. I look at it like this. If you as a parent are advising your children to go out, harass, make trouble, make a big stink to someone who opposes something you believe in and they believe differently, you're not a good parent. So, right now, I don't think any of our leaders are good leaders. And I hope they get their act together and start shaping up. But in the meantime, let's start doing it ourselves. Choose to be kind. I'll see you again next week. Have a great week. And bye.